Idea. Maybe that pentangle was for something supernatural.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time. If it is your first time and you like this video, please have a little look around and see if you like any other videos. And I never say subscribe, like and subscribe, do I? So yeah, if you'd like to do that, it'd be awesome. Thank you to all the people that support the channel in general. Anyway, this is a little video talking about what I'm going to read this month. So we're now in October, and even though I haven't got it on me, I've got a load of other books there, but I'm in the middle of a book at the moment, so I need to finish that book before I do my October reads, because I started it in September, and that's Vengeful by V.E. Schwab, which I'm buddy reading with Chaz, from the book is Chaz, and I think Dave was, but might join in later, I'm not sure, but it was. So it's kind of a buddy read with Chaz. And I need to finish that. Once I finish that, I can do my October reads, which are going to be dominated by the spooky shorts idea I had, and probably mostly Occult Detective October. So, on that note, Dave Brzezinski, I don't know if you saw the show Is This Thing On this week, but he was our guest. He's the editor of the Occult Detective magazine. He sent me a few bits, and one of the things that I need to prioritize, so the first thing I'm going to read in my October reads is a book that he'd like me to review. So that's quite nice. I've never had that happen before, which is lovely. So he wants me to review a book, which is great. So he sent me this little package. They're beautifully packaged books. So I'll just tell you what they are. And it's really nicely packaged, it's got to be said. Dave put up a message on the general Voxer chat saying who would like to read one of these books to review, and he put a list up, and I said I quite fancied two particular books, and these two were the ones that I said about, and one of them he's already reviewed in the magazine, but the other one he wants me to review in the magazine, which is great. So this one, The Secrets of Water, is the first thing I'm going to read. So this is by Shoshana Edwards, brand new book, and it looks presented well. But anyway, The Secrets of Water I'm going to read first as my first October read, as this has been sent to me to review. So this has also been sent to me to review, but not to review for the magazine, but for my channel. So October Canes, Nothing Will Be Left. So there is a review of this coming in the magazine written by Dave Brzezinski. So yeah, I did fancy this, so I'm very grateful for getting it sent to me. So those two books were sent to review. These are new books that were sent to review. But he also sent me a Kim Newman book called The Nightmare. So that's awesome. So I would definitely want to read this. So we'll see how we get on. But The Nightmare, he actually said in a little note that he took away the sticky label, which I do appreciate, because apparently it was the right mare trying to get rid of it. So The Nightmare, The Nightmare, Kim Newman. So I'll be reading that hopefully. And he's also sent me, just to kind of complete the package, he found a Brian Stapleford book that he didn't include in the other box, but he put a few Brian Stapleford books in the other box. So so he sent me In the Kingdom of the Beasts, which is an awesome cover. Look at that awesome cover. I love having vintage science fiction. So the character's name, the main character's name is Mark Chaos. I love that. So anyway, that's something I can read later on as well. So I'll put that in the cover in a minute. So if you are interested in looking into the Occult Detective magazine, then these are the details here. Please look into it, because it's an awesome thing and they need our support, and it's a very professionally, beautifully presented thing, which I can show you now actually, because I was going to say that once I'd sorted the books to read that have been sent to me, I will be reading the Occult Detective magazine, the latest one, the Mythos Special #2. There's a volume 11 coming out soon, but I'll be reading this. So there's lots of fiction in there. So I'll be reading that. And I have said before in a previous video that I want to carry on with my Rivers of London books, but again, we'll see how we get on, because I'm not even going to start this stuff until I finish the other book. But, you know, that's my intention anyway, to keep going on the Rivers of London books. So I would recommend these. I think they're really good. And actually, so far, I prefer them to the Dresden Files. So I've read only 2 books from that series, but I'm plowing through these because I'm enjoying them more. So, but they're like British and American versions of the same idea. I've got a John Connolly book of short stories called Nocturnes that I will dip into, which would be quite nice for the spooky shorts idea as well. And I'm probably not going to get to this. I'm going to show this just because it's such a famous book, Kim Newman's Anno Dracula, and it would fit the Occult Detective of October thing, I think. So, you know, if I really go crazy on the reading, get loads of time, maybe I can get into that one, I don't know. And then peppered through the month, I want to do this spooky shorts idea. So the idea is that I just wanted to honour Scott again, and do what I did in Horror Mayhem. Although in May, I just read horror short stories all month. So I'm not doing it all month, but I do want to honour Scott with an event I'm calling Spooky Shorts, and I'm going to read some short stories. So there's a lovely collection here, Dark Stars, which I haven't started yet. So some big names there, with some horror short stories. I mean, I've got tons of collection. These are just some ideas. And I did start this book in Horror Mayhem, and I really enjoyed it. So I've read a couple of stories in here, but I'd like to read a few more. So this is edited by Jordan Peele, and it's an anthology of new black horror, so black authors. And the first one had a really cool element of social commentary in it, which was the N.K. Jemisin one, Reckless Eyeballing. It was so good. So that was a really good story. So yeah, I'd like to carry on reading that if I can, dip into that one. And another one that Dave sent me, so another thank you to Dave Rosetsky. I've got an anthology of, or collection of Robert Silverberg horror stories, which is quite interesting, isn't it? So Robert Silverberg, obviously most famous for his science fiction, did write some horror stuff, and this collection puts it all together. It's a really lovely book. It's got illustrations, and it's got this lovely presentation. Really, really cool. So that's something I want to read as well. And then a couple of other things that may appear, because I might get just in the mood to do that. I might carry on with this, Souls Against Death. So I did mention that I'm rereading the Souls series very slowly. So these were major books to me when I was younger, but I really enjoyed the reread, so I could read some more of that one. And last month I read Convenience Store Woman by Siaka Murata, and I'd like to read Earthling, so we'll see. It probably won't take me long. It's a very short book, so I might get to that. Maybe I'll quickly do it at the end of the month. And then I was going to say, because I found this cheap down the road for 50p, I thought I was just going to give another mention to the Banned Books event. And I was going to say that my intention is in December, I'm going to concentrate on Banned Books. That's going to be my priority in December. And now I've got Catcher in the Rye, I might reread this. So I read this at school. So I would have been very, very young when I read this. Probably either 13 or 14. I'm not sure what year group I was in. It was either 13 or 14 when I read Catcher in the Rye. So it'd be interesting to read that literally 40 years later. Jesus, I'm old. And I'm going to be buddy reading, where is it? I'll be buddy reading The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison with Kim from Middle of the Book March in December as well. So that's going to be the first thing I read in December, to be fair, because it's a big chunker. So I don't want to not finish it. So that's the first thing I read in December. And then there are a couple of other banned books that I'll be touching on, probably The Stranger or The Outsider by Camus, and Rousseau's The Social Contract. And there is going to be appearing on the channel very soon a video about banned books that are graphic novels. So a few graphic novels that are banned that I've read that I want to talk about. So there we are. That's some things coming up and my priorities for October. Another thank you to Dave Rosetsky for the little package, and I can't wait to get stuck in. Please comment on anything I've said there, and I'll see you soon. Stay curious, everybody.